Starting anew. So this time we are going to do a bigger painting. This is a scene that a few years ago we went to Colorado. Let me check. Okay. And you may notice I have modified some stuff. So this is a different picture course that I took, landscaped orientation, and see Chase and Kira, Matthew, Amber, Peyton. But I liked, if I can find it, I may have deleted it. I actually liked this picture. I love this picture. But they weren't in it, right? So they were in it, but in different locations, different spots. Amber was in that. I don't know if you can see that. So I basically went into either GIMP or Inkscape, doesn't matter. And I cut them out of the other picture and put them where I wanted them to be. So that's what that is. And that's how we're going to roll. So I don't know if you can see it or not. I just have a really light sketch in Matthew here, Amber, Peyton with her camera, picnic table. I don't know if I'm going to put it in or not. Kira and Chase with the tree. So I've just got it. I mean, you can see it's not much of nothing. There's Chase, there's Matthew. But because they're just figures, it is important that I get their shapes right, obviously, because I want that to be Matthew and I want that to be Chase, vice versa. But it's so hard to do that small, so I'll just do it with paint for the most part. I just want to locate them. This is something that I put together that I may try. I've never done this before, but there's another Roger Bransomer that does videos, or does post videos, YouTube now, and I think he had a TV show, but he does acrylic, and he has this sitting beside his painting so you can see. So I think this is a piece of glass just on cardboard so you can see it, but I might, next time we do a little 8x10, I may have that sitting beside so you can see me mixing the paint. I don't have room for it right now. I may honestly, I don't know, here in a second, I get so sloppy blocking this stuff in that I'm really not too fond of this sitting right here. The little ones are different, but so I may move that while I block this in, and then when we get in particulars, I put it back. I don't know. We'll see. I'll try to be careful, but I'm probably going to slam paint. Oh, I did clean out my palette. Forgot to put my white out. I don't have any red in the palette yet. Not that it needs much, just maybe a touch here or there, put a little warmth in something. And when I paint the figures, get my white out. One other thing I did that I have done before, but it's been a really long time. But the yellow that I put out, and there are artists that do this. Roger Bransomer actually is one that does it. Using not necessarily student grade paints at the beginning of the painting, but transparent paints that are not, they have a lower tinting strength. They're not going to overpower the painting. And it's a really interesting concept. I'm gonna put some red out. The interesting part of that is at the early stages in block in, I don't want it to be vibrant. I want it to kind of be dull in most of the trees. You know, when I mix these trees here, these greens, I've actually got black out. Right, black, Mars black. It's not ivory black, right? It's Mars black, which is more opaque. I'll probably mix yellow and black to make these greens in the shadows, and then kind of save your vibrant greens just for certain spots. You don't want the whole thing to be vibrant green. So I'm going to see how it works. There is greenish hue back here. I don't want to use cadmium yellow. I've got, this happens to be a student grade, cadmium yellow light hue, which means they took other stuff, not cadmium powder, to make it. It's not pure. They've made something that looks yellow, and it is technically yellow, but once you mix it with other stuff, it loses its vibrance pretty quick. And I kind of want that right now. I don't want any of this to be real bold, so we'll see how it works. I might punt, go a different direction, take a little water. You know, where do you begin? Well, I'm just going to put the sky in. What is the sky, you ask? So it's going to be white, right? It's going to be some white. And let's touch our ultramarine and just see what that does. A little more water. And I want this to cover, you notice there's not much paint up here, it's mostly water. But I really want, because ideally I don't come up here again. I don't revisit this. It's okay if I have to. But I want to get some paint up here. Now I'm really trying to keep this as muted as you see it. Now, could I touch a little touch of yellow in there or something to kill the saturation of that blue? Yeah, I guess it could. It's probably going to work out okay if I just keep adding white, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just dipping into white with the dirty brush, and this is how I often paint these skies. I may even take and spray that. I don't normally like to do that because it's hard to control. You're lazy to get too much water on your canvas, but right now I need water and paint. Water and paint on my canvas. I work pretty quick because it is acrylic. Work back into that paint real quick to keep it wet, because again, it will not take very long at all. You have to start setting up. It'll take a while for it to dry to the touch, of course, but I want a big brush for this too. And I'm not making could care less about this tree over here. We'll paint that later. It's maybe even a little wider. Maybe even a little wider. Now, this is where probably, using phthalo instead of ultramarine may make more sense. I don't know. It's just as long as this reads like a really pretty. Step back. Still seems like I can go even lighter. And again, I can go over this later if I want. Now there's a cloud here, so I don't really have to do too much more down. Something on the painting there. I don't know what that was. Picked up a little dirty something there. I don't know where that came from, but it's all right. It's all good. One more last little shot at this. It comes down here. That's the top of that. I may have just picked up graphite. I don't know. Do want to get some color in here. Ooh, I forgot the side. Y'all let me forget that side, dude. Killing me. Killing me. I'm so sorry. I know I'm in front of you. I know I'm in front of you. I can't help it. We're going to leave it because it's getting to the point where I'm going to do more damage than I am good. I'm using just the tip of that brush. Go ahead now, why not? See if we can put some heavy-handed clouds in here. At least scrub them in and fix them later if we don't like them. Usually, if they're okay. Let's see. Yeah, that's mixing too much with the paint that's already down there, so that's cool. We'll just do that there. The hills, the mountains. Dirty brush. I'm going to leave this brush like this because that's light. I want to keep this very high key, very light. It cannot be that saturated. If you take a glance, and I love doing that, just glance at it. Just quick glance. Well, what color is that? Well, I would say it's a cool color. It's cool relative to this. It is greenish. So important to get that value right. I'm pretty close. Probably will adjust it. Remember, we got acrylics. They dry darker. Too much water. You see, you probably saw that. I don't know. Maybe where you're at. Camera, you can't. That doesn't show very well. Don't know. Remember, this stuff that I've drawn, the sketch is losable, right? It was just kind of to help me think through, draw it out, if you will. Forget them signs. I usually always have to go back and hit these again anyway, so it's going there. Now we'll go darker, but that's not too bad. So there's a point to this. So between Chase and Kira, right? Between Chase and Kira, this goes up, comes back down. Is it critical? Nope. But it's there, so why not put it in? Why not? I'll go darker, but right now I'm just kind of finding it. Soft. Even though there's places it's a little harder, I can't have that competing. Even though that's part of the story, that's the reason we pulled over there, right? Yeah, we'll go darker. Darker as we come forward. A little bit darker. Let's see how this does. This stuff, man. Don't stress. Don't go stressing. I'm big on this looking like a painting, right? So I want there to be brush work. I'm not at all about. You're not going to see me. This is a whole hillside of these evergreen trees, right? I'm not going to take the corner of my brush and do that, which I would have used to do. I'd say, oh, wait, I see those are 1,000 of those, right? All of that green, every bit of that is this and that, just smaller. Don't do it. Or I'm not going to do that. You can do that. It's up to you. I ain't doing it. I ain't going to do it. A little greener. Let's see what happens. Little areas. I like to put, change it from here to here and see what happens, make it different color. Interesting. It's interesting. There'll be this big tree here, but there's some of that peeking through. And you notice that this is important, I think. I never mix enough paint. And you would think, oh, well, wow, what a goober. I purposely don't. I mean, you know, there's part of me sometimes that I look and go, deck on it, Joe, you got to remix paint. I love having the variation and the challenge of, you know, hitting it again. If it's a little bit darker, fine. I don't care. I mean, that's what happens back in there, right? Now, I want to be careful doing too much, you know, with that drying. Get into bad mojo right there, get bad spot. I just really need to get this thing covered. Quit trying to make interesting stuff go on, right? When that happens, like right, that little heart, I feather it, lift it up, lift it up. Don't spend forever. I'm not going to spend forever. Do whatever you want. Don't spend, John. Don't spend the whole dang time trying to get this stuff accurate. That's what happens. People want to already start painting trees. We're trying to accomplish, roughly put in just a base so we can go over that and create an effect of light. Even there, I mean, even if we didn't do anything else, which we will. But if we put some hard trees right up here, she's going to be fine. She'll be fine. So now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something that is kind of crazy. And I'm going to take that, I'm going to take black and that off yellow, right? That phony yellow. Now, where are we? Let's get our bearings. So here's where I've got drawn the above this highlight. So here's the bank right here. Right here is the edge of that bank, and there's Matthew's head actually kind of does this. Yeah, just exactly that. See, it doesn't, I use so much of that yellow and it doesn't cover very well. And that's the problem that you'll find. Look at that. That's the problem you're going to find with student paints is, you know, you think, well, it's cheaper. And yeah, it can be a third the price, if not cheaper than that. But you get what you pay for, and you know, you have to just look at that. It's so transparent that you've got to put on so many coats and you're never going to get the results you want, that it's really not worth, unless you're doing it for a purpose. You know, you know, if you're going to, I don't know, be your own artist, you do what you've got to do. I just, it's been so long since I've used them. It's just right now hitting me how much trouble they cause, I guess, more than they save the money. I mean, look, you see right through this stuff. But it's creating an effect here. A little softness. Again, this is going to be fine. These little soft edges back in there, because we're going to put hard trees over that, and this will be okay. We'll transition this. Don't ever use your finger. So painting, let's see, this goes over, let's go about there. Something like that. Bob would be proud. Oh, Bob. So what's next? Let's see. this to dry. I don't want to put too much in here yet because I don't have, look at that garbage. Oh, that paint sucks so bad. I know you all aren't feeling me here, but that's just garbage can. It is garbage can. Now let's see if we put let's take our blues, not black. Let's take some of this garbage yellow. And what I'm trying to do is get a kind of a, I'll call it celery looking colors, you know, that's not very vibrant. If I can do that, just to cover this, just to get a base down here. You see how mad this is, just mad, crazy. Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, that's junk. God, look, I've got so much paint on my brush, and it's just not covering good. So Chase is there. And we'll have some brighter stuff going on. This guy, gosh, he must be a professional. I know you look now and go, this guy's don't know what the hell he's doing. Look, he's crazy. His painting stinks. I think the same thing too sometimes. Who's this guy think? Little ball of something. See that little ball of something. Yeah. Something's happening. Something. Don't know what. But it's something. Again, I didn't mix enough. So I'll get more water, praying that helps me. It's okay. Because there's going to be a lot of paint that goes over this. Where can I grab it? I'm just painting the end of it. A lot of water. It's almost just a wash, just to get some of that color on there. What I got over here? What I got over here? Nothing. Nothing. Just a little's all. Gosh, this guy's good. Why did I do this to myself? So let's see, how far are we in? It always seems like it's 10 minutes and it's an hour. Well, 24 minutes is not so bad. So let's go ahead. I don't want to put these big trees in here, obviously, until we are comfortable with that, because I don't want to be painting in around them. Let's clean our brush. Was that the first time? No, second time maybe. Clean the brush. Let's go maybe to a smaller one. I will don't want to lose where they're at, and I don't want to paint up to them. You know the challenge. Let's put them in roughly. Jason's got sunglasses. Are we going to be able to pull that off? Can we do it? Sunglasses? That small? You kidding me? Keep this on against. This is kind of light, right? Kind of light. Rough. It's going to be rough. She's much warmer. He's dark. I need to rest my fingers. Wow, that's pretty damn dark. And again, that's going to look really, it is too dark, but it's going to look really dark because it's against that white. In my palette, it is not dark. No. Warm them up a little bit. God, that still took me up to. Look at it. That's what I mixed. It's kind of like that cube thing that I did in that one video, right? Look at the cube and you're like, that's impossible. So this is just really going to be, I mean, they're so small. This is just like touches of a person. I'm going to have to rely on the big shapes, right? Because I'm not going to be able to put much detail. Amber's darker. And that's not very warm. It's not warm. Again, it's not critical that I nail this stuff right now, honestly. Hold your breath. This is the camera. This is her hair. That's her hair. Tip of the brush. Amber's hair, which is a little darker. Not much. It is darker though. About there. Anywhere else I can use this color? Not really. These are lighter peoples. Kira is about there. Hair is here, but it's going to be darker. Right? Arm, use this big brush, just use the tip of it. Just the tip of the brush. Just a little spot of arm back there. Wow, that was awful. Oh well, it happens. We'll warm that up. I'm just trying to find him. Matthew, he's got some nice reflected light, which we'll find later. That's the back of his neck. This is his arm. Well, this is going to be an exercise in angles. Shapes and angles is what's going to make this work or not. Too big, brush too big, that's okay. All right, leg there, leg here. You can kind of see them happening. Don't say you can't. You kind of see it happening, right? You see them falling into place. It's happening. See, we just touch a little red and white. What's red and white make? Pink. There's your pink. Not, that back's kind of purple, isn't it? it's a little purpley. It's a little purpley. This may be too dark. Probably a little too dark. Put it down. It's almost the color of her arm, to be honest with you. That's pretty close. It's lost in the bushes, right? Lost in the bushes. Almost see that same color right here on that shadow. Oh, that looks weird. And I'm not trying to paint them, right? I'm not trying to paint them completely or anything. I'm always looking for another place to put that color, you know. So not because I don't want to waste paint. That's not what I'm saying. It's to have that color somewhere else in the painting. It just makes it make a little more sense. A little dark. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. That's almost the same, you know, as out in here in places, right? Almost. Not quite. Maybe close to what's on the front of Peyton's shirt. Front of her shirt, close. Shorts, I brought that shirt down too far. Now, is it important that I go ahead and, you know, finish them out? No, I'm not going to do that because I'm really going to paint over them again when this dries. Right, my plan, if it pans out, is once this paint dries to just paint in the water so it's not painted up too, even though I know I'll go back and forth some. So I'm okay to lose them. I just want to remember, have a note of where they were. Matthew's shirt's pretty blue. It's pretty blue, not that. A little darker in the shadow. A little darker in the shadow. That's too transparent. I got too much water in my brush. That happens to me quite a bit. So you start a new pile. You know, get the water, you know, rinse your brush out, get all the water out of it, and you start a new pile. Now that's wet. Right, that's water. So this is still going to be a little bit too transparent. I called it. All right, so this is going to go front, come down like that, behind. This back's going to do that. Different color. Thinking ahead too much, but hey, look here. We've got, let's think of this distance here. So if that's under her arm, I'm going to just go ahead and put that streak down there to help me. That's about where, right? Is that about you got a better angle than I do back there. Short something like that. That's pretty close. I think, do I have that out too far? Maybe. So we have an angle to her back because she's holding that. See how that angle, that curve, that's important. It's important. I see people happening. They're happening. Isn't this fun? We're having fun yet. So that's important to me that his hat, which, you know, for this painting, it just pops, right? Chase is silhouetted by the water, which is awesome. Kira's stands out decent. Matthew, key figure here, and that dark behind his hat, we are going to definitely not lose that. Now, Amber and Peyton have some bushes behind them. I'm probably going to bring Matthew that does this in here a little bit better, maybe open that up a little. We'll see. I don't want them to look like they're back in the weeds and everybody else is out, if that makes sense. So we're going to need that to dry for just a second. I guess I could have finished, well, not finished, none of this is finished. Found Chase a little bit better, because that's kind of duty. John did a little duty there, that's not very good. He's going to get, there's some areas on him that are pretty dark. You know, I know this drawing's not going to be great, but I want to try at least make that attempt to get it right. And again, I know I'm broken record here. And this is going to be just, he's going to just dissolve right down in here. That light comes up a little bit more than I got it. That's okay. That's all right. The way I paint, again, I'm going to continue to just reiterate the same stuff every time, because it's important. I wouldn't say it if it wasn't important. That the way I do this is I make a mistake, and I don't do it on purpose. I'm trying to not make a mistake. I'm trying to nail it, but I'm okay. I accept the fact that I'm probably not going to. And these are acrylics, and they're about layering, and I say this seriously, but kind of kidding, I'm a master at fixing errors, because I sure as hell have had my share of errors. And that's an incredible thing to have in your toolbox, is no fear at all of making a mistake in the way that my brain works, the way my painting works is, that's dark, right? That's dark, and it's gonna look really daggone dark when I put this up here. Let me add a little yellow. What was I saying? I was saying something. Again, the best analogy is the sculptor, right? You have a head that you've modeled out, and it looks pretty good, and you got to put an ear on them. Well, how do you put an ear on it? Well, you take too much clay and throw it on the side, and you know it's wrong, and then you shape it, right? I don't think they make the perfect ear and then stick an ear on, right? They put it on there and mold it, and that's kind of what this is. It's about being okay. I put that up there, I make an estimation. And if it's wrong, I'm completely okay with that, because I am assuming I'll have to come back in and fix it, which is cool. So there's some little irregularities. So this tree, is that where that was? That's almost looks like I had something drawn there. That's, wow, that's right where it's at. Yeah, okay. There's Chase's here. I'm surprised that showed up. I think that was an accident. Anyway, this tree's gonna go here. Soft that edge. Comes back a little. And this is me kind of more so I need this in there to make this other stuff make sense. So this is not probably the proper way. Now look right above her. Right above her is where this kind of comes down, right? How do you put it in? Doesn't matter. Don't make me say, look, this is crazy. No, it doesn't matter. Matthew, again, remember, I'm okay to lose him. I don't want this to look painted up too. Now, right here is where she, you know, that stops, but I pasted that over there. It's probably, oh, do I have that picture? Maybe I don't. Wow, it does. Look at that. See, this is the actual picture that I pulled them from. I don't like that. We're gonna take that over there. I'm gonna just go on, and if we decide that's cornball-y, we won't do it, because we don't want cornball-y. Whatever that means. Okay. Hey, that's starting to happen. See, look, we're gonna put a tree right here, right? We're gonna put the shade of this tree right through there. You know, all this is taking notes. You're putting down notes. We're gonna have this. I don't even want to put it in yet, but we're gonna end up having this tree here, and we're gonna put that water in. It's all gonna be wondermous. There was 41 minutes, just smack dab on time. There's a lot to do, a lot going on, and it's really about determining what to do next. You know, the sky obviously is important. We're going to put a little information, a little bit, not much. We want this to open up, right? We want this, because it does. If this was trees straight across, it wouldn't be as interesting. This opens up. So I want to make sure this is connected, because right now it looks like it's behind it, right? I want this to come a little bit more down. Heavy highlights, right? Right here, especially, look, that's like the brightest, boom, right there in the middle. It's gonna happen. This stuff will be fun. We'll just put it in just like that. Perfect. There we go.